the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railway to connect the Western and Atlantic Railway. At least I didn't say roll tide. Now, when the Western and Atlantic Railroad was initially chartered in 1836, it was not going to be permitted to even cross the Tennessee state line, let alone enter the city of Chattanooga, because of it being the Georgia State Railroad. The state of Tennessee didn't exactly like the idea of their neighbor to the south building a railroad across their lines. Can't say I really blame them. I wouldn't want my neighbor building a railroad across my backyard either. But that same gentleman I mentioned a few minutes ago, James Whiteside, using his power as a Tennessee state legislator, managed to secure permission for the Western and Atlantic Railroad to cross the state line into downtown Chattanooga, where they built a small yard and station. And today, though that railroad is still owned by the state of Georgia, it is now operated by CSX Transportation under a lease from the state as their Atlanta to Chattanooga main line. And it's dispatched from their headquarters in Jacksonville, Florida. This time we'll talk just a little bit about the rail cars on our train today that were of St. Charles, Missouri for the Central Georgia Railway. And it was assigned to a train called the Nancy Haynes II, which operated daily between Savannah and Atlanta, Georgia, with 8 intermediate stops in between. Now, even with those 8 stops, the Nancy still managed to average speeds in excess of 48 miles per hour. Alabama and Georgia Railway on the tag route. The tag historically was the only railroad ever headquartered in the city of Chattanooga. Ran between Chattanooga and Gadsden, Alabama. And this locomotive was the last locomotive that they ever purchased. It was delivered in 1968, and in a special ceremony, it was dedicated in honor of the railroad's vice president, John A. Chambliss, on his 80th birthday. So the engine has its number, and it also has Mr. Chambliss's name hanging on the side of it. The tag operated this engine for about 3 years until they were absorbed into the Southern Railway system. The Southern desired to eliminate the tag as a competitor because it ran parallel to their Chattanooga to Birmingham main line. So they bought out the tag, and this became Southern Railway, later Norfolk Southern, number 2879. Norfolk Southern retired this locomotive in 2001, and it was purchased then at auction by the Chambliss family, who turned around and donated it to the West Texas Museum. We returned it to operating condition in 2017, and it was running ever since. Fun fact, it's actually been on the tag Colombian blue paint here longer than it was on the tag. 3 years on the tag versus now 8 years here at TGRM. We painted it in 2016. Now this locomotive is what we call a GB38 locomotive. Before I go into that, what that means, make sure you wave at our engineer Joseph as the front of the engine comes around here. Thank you for that nice ride he gave us over here today. But GB38, General Purpose Type 38. General Purpose means this locomotive is right at home full of freight, passengers, or switching cars in the yard or terminal. Inside that long wood behind the words Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia is a 16-cylinder, 2,000 horsepower diesel motor. The diesel motor is doing 2 things. Trying to make air for pressure at the back of the engine and makes air for the brakes, so stopping is important. And then right behind the engineer's cab is a big electrical generator of the engine turning to make electricity at 16 volts at a time. And then it goes to a motor on this side. Railroad. What is known as a diesel electric locomotive. Now that technology actually dates back to the late 1920s, and it's still the same basic technology in use today in modern locomotives. Now today's modern locomotives are often running on alternating current instead of direct walk. We'll go over to our restoration shop and we'll see a couple of our ongoing projects.